Hey, what up, everybody? This is Eric here from SLC Punkcast, and welcome to Live and Wired, where we will tell you about all the shows that are coming up in and around. Well, I'll tell you about the ones coming up in and around the Salt Lake Valley, and Dustin will tell you about the ones that are happening nationwide, sometimes worldwide. And thank you for joining us this week. We got plenty of shows to tell you about, but first, I have a couple of tales from the pit. I had 2 shows that I attended. So this is this week's episode of Tales from the Pit. The Rev took my cherry, and I joined a circle jerk that was 40 years in the making. So yeah, what I mean by the Rev took my cherry is like this was the first time I got to see the famed Reverend Horton Heat. Now this guy, Reverend Horton Heat, is one of those like neo-rockabilly guys. It appeals to a lot of the punk rockers, and you can see why. It's definitely like on the cusp of psychobilly, only not quite so horror-themed. Anyway, he was awesome. He's been to Salt Lake more times than I can count. I've seen his name appear on flyers for years, and I never went to a show. I don't know why it took me this long. I don't know why, because he was fucking awesome. The Reverend Horton Heat. I mean, the first band, what was it, the Charlie Wingers or something or other like that. I can't remember what they were called. The Charlie Wingers. Oh, McCharmleys. McCharmleys. I watched their set for a little bit, and they were good. They were good for what they did, like some old school rockabilly teetering into Americana territory. It was pretty good, but they were just too soft. They were just like, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but the fact is that it was a Monday night. I was tired, and I didn't need to be listening to music that would put me to sleep. So I just sort of stayed outside with with my girlfriend and with a couple of my friends. We just drank beer, shot the shit, and then waited for the Rev to take stage. And then the Rev did take the stage. The Rev and Jimbo and whatever the hell his drummer's name is. And they just went right into D is for Dangerous. A nice little instrumental opener to get everybody pumped up. And then they followed it with another instrumental, It's a Dark Day. And it's like, okay, this is good, but Rev, can you open your mouth? and he did so, and he came in with Big Sky. And that was a fun opener, fucking classic Rev song. And yeah, he followed that with Baddest of the Bad. And then he finally took a break and decided to talk to the audience. And this guy, he is the Reverend Horton Heat. He is so funny. For one, he says, "Thanks for coming out on a Saturday night." I go, "Okay, Grandpa, thanks." And he was always throwing some shade with Jimbo. They always had like fake fights on stage. There was one where Jimbo just walked off the stage, and it says, "Okay, well, I guess there goes the show." I mean, there was one time when there was like middle of the show. They were only like 6 or 7 songs in, and then they said, "Well, thank you, good night, guys. Thanks for joining us." It was just that sort of fake out. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. That onstage banter, it was great. I think some of the highlights were when they did the Jimbo song Jimbo, Jimbo. That was a great one. They also did some covers. They did Big River by Johnny Cash. That was great, which was on the last album that they put out, which was all strictly cover songs. They also did another one from that one, Lights Out, by, what was his name? Jerry Byrne. Yeah, Jerry Byrne. And then they did some other classics like I Can't Surf. That was a bit of a deep cut. Also Galaxy 500. That song is so fun. And then, Let Me Teach You How to Eat. I was excited when they played that one. That was the first Rev Horton song that I ever heard. Let Me Teach You How to Eat. So that was fun. And then, of course, they did some of their, they had to do, what was it? The Psychobilly Freakout. The Psychobilly Freakout. It's fucking Halloween, man. It's getting close to that season of the dead, so of course. Let's sing about the Freakout. And then they walked off stage like, Yeah, they walked off of the stage, did the little encore thing. Okay, I guess we're coming back out. Yeah, of course you're coming back out because you're forgetting one simple song. Yeah, they came out and did some bales of cocaine. It was awesome. The crowd was getting super hyped up on those ones, and there was some fun moshed pits. There were some fun times in the mosh, and yeah, it was just an overall fun show. And then they decided that the best way to close it was with a cover of Ace of Spades, again from their new covers album. It was magical. It was super magical, and it's just awesome seeing the Reverend Horton. He still has his swagger. He still has everything about him. He's still got all the energy, and you can just tell he is happy to be there. Just happy to be up on the stage. And same thing with Jimbo and his drummer. I'm sorry, I can't remember the name, but it was a fun time. The crowd was feeding off of that. So that was a great show. First time seeing Reverend Horton Heat. I can't complain. I cannot complain. But then the show that I went to last night, well, if you're watching this now, it was Wednesday night of this week. And that was the circle jerk that was 40 years in the making. Technically 45, but whatever. Whatever. They say it's the 40th anniversary. Was it the 40th? Let me see what it says on the flyer. Been looking at the flyer so long, but I can never remember the number. Let me see, it was the... Okay, no, 45 years. 45 years of group sex. Which I thought they were going to play the whole album in its entirety, but they did not. They played most of it, though, because that's where all the hits are. It has more hits than the Golden Shower of hits. We'll be talking about the Circle Jerks in just a minute, but when we first got there... I was bummed because I thought the Modifiers had already played. The Modifiers, they are a bit of a cult favorite around these parts, around the Salt Lake parts. And they were supposed to be opening up for the Circle Jerks. They were supposed to be the opening act. But their singer got arrested. I do not know why. I mean, I do know why. I just can't fucking remember. It involved a robbery and a ski mask. Something like that. I could be fucking wrong about the robbery part, too. My friend Brandon told me about it. He showed me the news article. I was just in another headspace, I guess. I wasn't doing drugs. I was working. I was in another mindset. Whatever. It was, bottom line was Modifiers didn't play, which really sucked because I've never seen the Modifiers. Or maybe I have and I just don't remember them because... Thing was, I was bummed that they didn't play. They are a great band. Or I guess now was a great band, but their music is still fucking awesome. Yeah, but what can you do? So anyway, I get there, I get up to the top floor of the depot, and Negative Approach is already on the stage. And I remember I'm walking in through the doors with my girlfriend, with Kate, and then I hear, "We won't take any shit, and we're not." I'm like, Kate, I'm sorry, I gotta fucking plow through this. So I just swim through all the fucking people in the back and just jolt my way over the pit to the fucking front. And I just start pushing people around. Just because you don't like who we are and want to be, who are you to say what's wrong and what's right? If it's what it takes, we're ready to fight. Oh yeah, one of my favorite Negative Approach songs, and I just had to be there. I had to fucking be there. I already missed like fucking half of their set. Okay, maybe not half, but a good chunk of it. The point was they were playing while I was in line. Well, I was in line out front to show my ticket and get into the actual fucking venue. So they may have played some songs that I would have liked to have heard. Like I was hoping to catch Dead Stop. I was hoping to hear I was even hoping to hear Pressure, the little 10-second song. It's just fun. But no, I got in there during Ready to Fight, made it just in time to hear Your Mistake, which was awesome. And then they did and then they did Nothing. They did Lost Causes, and Friend or Foe. And then I remember, then when they did Tied Down, that's when I went fucking ape shit. That's my favorite Negative Approach song. It's just, God, the urgency and just the vigor in John Brannon's voice. And John Brannon, he's looking as that's the best way to put him, Gary the Eagle. Yeah, the guy, he looks, I have a picture. I'll show it here. Side by side, John Brannon and Gary the Eagle from Sesame Street. He looks pretty similar. Just permanent scowl. Now his face is sagging even more. He looks even more like he's scowling. He probably looked less like Gary the Eagle and more more like a bulldog. But he's still got it in him. He's still just like owning it up on stage, and he is just, yeah, he's fucking killing it. He just kills it. I love it. So yeah, Negative Approach, always a fucking good time, even though I missed half of their set, but sometimes that just happens. And that's the second time I've seen Negative Approach opening up for Circle Jerks. Yeah. But it's okay, even though I missed most of their set, I can still hold the bragging right that I got to open up for Negative Approach with my old hardcore band Second Nature way back in 2015. I even have the flyer for that one. I'll send it over to Dustin. I'll make sure that he posts that, because there is he puts it up on here, because there is discernible proof that I did indeed open up for Negative Approach, and that is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. So anyway, that was the first act of the night. It was supposed to be the second, but whatever. Then Adolescents come out. The Adolescents, this was the second time I saw the Adolescents this year, and in the same venue. The last time they were here is when they were on tour with Bouncing Souls and H2O, which was also an awesome show. But yeah, Adolescents, they're fucking killer. I always love hearing their music when they play, no matter what songs. They just always have a great energy about them. Though I still can't deny the emptiness of the stage without Steve Soto. And yeah, you can make whatever fucking bloated fat joke you want out of that one. I mean, the guy has a body that's similar to a Hershey's Kiss. had a body. But regardless, he was a vital member of that group, and wrote some awesome bass parts. He wrote some of the best, was part of some of the best songs, and he was one of the only original members left. I think he was the only OG member left besides Tony, obviously. But yeah, R.I.P. Steve Soto. But what was cool is their fill-in bassist, the touring bassist, was none other than F-Minus's Brad Logan. And he's been like he's been a hired gun before. I remember he was playing guitar as, he was a touring guitarist for Leftover Crack. And I don't know if he's still doing that. Back when he had dreads. He doesn't have dreads anymore. But he is playing bass for Adolescents right now, which is pretty cool. And so yeah, Adolescents, it was a good set. They went on with some classics like Rip It Up and I Hate Children, and also Losing Battle, Let It Go, Self-Destruct, and Democracy. And of course they played Amoeba. They always have to. It's kind of a must. It's kind of a staple. Is it really an Adolescent show without? And then they closed with Kids of the Black Hole, which, goddamn it, I love that song, and I love hearing it live. I love watching the guitarist. He just ripping it up with the solos in that one. Just such unhinged punk rock, but with just such beautiful melodies. People really don't appreciate Adolescents' contribution to bringing melody into hardcore. Everyone remembers Descendants and Bad Religion, but it's like Adolescents was doing this, well, around the same time as Descendants were, but it was more in the forefront. But I digress. Adolescents fucking kicked ass. But now let's get to the main event. Let's get to the Circle Jerk. Yeah, Circle Jerk comes on, and yeah, in his typical fashion, Keith Morris with his trademark drawl is introducing everybody in the band and just has to go on some diatribes about how much he loves the punk scene and how much it's cool that people are showing up and how much the government sucks and how much we hate our president and the powers that be, blah, 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 blah. He went on a lot of tirades like that. It was pretty fun. It's just, hearing it come from Keith Morris's mouth, it's always enjoyable. Like I said, he's got that very specific drawl, and he did that at various points throughout this show. But we were all just waiting. We're just waiting. It's like, we know what you're going to do. We know what you're going to do. And then we're going to play some music right now. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's it. Until I'm proven guilty. Deny everything. Deny everything. And they were in full fucking swing. And I was just watching from the side of the stage, just fucking yelling my heart out. Just like, yeah, fucking love this. And they did quite a few, of course they did quite a few songs from Group Sex. It's their biggest fucking album. So yeah, they open up with Deny Everything. They do Back Against the Wall. They did Beverly Hills, one of my favorite ones. They did World Up My Ass, which is one of my most favorite Circle Jerk songs, probably my most favorite, actually. And of course they did Red Tape. They did Wasted. They did, oh God, Don't Care. Yeah, Don't Care. And I Just Want Some Skank. I Just Want Some Skank. I Just Want Some Skank. It was a good one. And then they did some other deep cuts. They did some Junk Mail. They did when the shit hits the fan from the Golden Shower of Hits. And then they also did Leave Me Alone. They did Letter Bomb. They did Question Authority. And they did Stars and Stripes from the Wild in the Streets. And yes, they did eventually do Wild in the Streets, and how he introduced that one was hilarious. Just saying, like, this was the song that, like, made us famous. This is the one that everyone knows, so feel free to sing along with this one. Okay, if you follow me on Instagram and you watch my stories, I posted most of the set, and I posted a few of his different little tirades. Or if you go on Circle Jerks' Instagram, you can hear that shit for yourself. But anyway, it was just pretty fun to hear that stuff. Oh yeah, and then they had a couple of songs from the infamous 6 album, the V1, the V1. They did a couple from that one. What was it? Beat Me Senseless, yeah. I didn't think they would ever play anything from that one, but, well, I mean, they did. The first time that I saw them a few years ago when they came to Salt Lake was 7 Seconds and Negative Approach, and I think Drug Church was also on that band, or on that bill. Or no, I'm thinking of a different one. Yeah, but they did play from, like, that one and Oddities and Curiosities and the weird era of Circle Jerks music. But obviously he's not too fond of some of those records, so he's, like, trying to, like, steer away from that era of Circle Jerks. Let's keep to the classics. Yeah, it was... And yeah, the classics everybody fucking needed. And yeah, of course, when they did Wild in the Streets, it was a madhouse. It went fucking off the rails. But then he did something that nobody really saw coming. Well, except for my friend Rich, because he looked up the set list beforehand, and he told me they're gonna be doing all the Black Flag songs he sang. I go, oh, you gotta be fucking kidding me! And sure enough, he's doing the. He was doing the fucking, like, intro to Revenge. It's not my imagination. And then everyone yells, I gotta get on my back! Yeah, and then goes right into Revenge. And he also did Depression, which was a fucking, that was awesome. That was a good surprise to me. That's one of my most favorite Black Flag songs, Depression. And I even joked, like, what if they did the Black Flag version of Wasted? They didn't, but that would have been funny. And they also Fix Me. They did Fix Me, and of course they did Nervous Breakdown. It was just awesome to be hearing Keith Morris sing those songs again. I saw him do it with Flag earlier this year, so it's not anything new to me, but just to hear it I guess just to hear Circle Jerks do it, I guess, but remember Keith Morris was the original vocalist of Black Flag. He sang on the Nervous Breakdown EP, and some of the songs that were in later Black Flag albums, he originally sang on them. Though I'm pretty sure in his book, My Damaged, he said you can hear the original recordings with his vocals on it in their Everything Went Black compilation. I have to check that one out. I got to make sure I think I can find that. Anyway, but that's neither here nor there. But the point is, like the Circle Jerk show, it was awesome. It was awesome seeing those guys again. I had a really great time just singing all these songs that I had been listening to since I was like 15 years old. And Circle Jerks, definitely the Group Sex album and Wild in the Streets, those were the two of the punk records that really got me interested in the genre. And yeah, it's just awesome that they came back after so many years. It was like a near 20-year, no, not a 20-year hiatus, more like a 13-year hiatus. They went on hiatus in 2010, and then Keith stayed pretty busy with Off for most of that, throughout most of that decade, well, all of that decade and into the 2020s. Then Off recently broke up because Circle Jerks came back into action. And then, of course, the Black Flag cover band. Yeah. And, of course, me and my friends, we were all talking shit on Black Flag TM and Flag. It's like, no, that's the real Flag. It may not have the name, may not have the actual logo, but it's better than what actual Black Flag is doing. Black Flag is just an old guy and 3 kids. It's like his rock and roll summer camp. Doesn't even have Mike V anymore. Oh, well. Yeah, the original Black Flag is where it's at. The current Black Flag sucks, but Flag is better. Yeah, but the Circle Jerks are also better than the current Black Flag. Circle Jerks just, it's awesome that they're coming back, and it's still awesome that Keith Morris is performing and still his weird self. That's putting it lightly. The guy is such a character. Super nice guy, super weird though. The way he tells stories, the way he's talking about this or that is just, he's a super bizarre man. Super bizarre. So anyway, those were my tales from the pit. Yeah, the Reverend took my cherry and I joined the Circle Jerk 45 years in the making. So that's the title. Now let's get into some of the shows that are happening this next week and a half. Guys, I tell you, there are a lot. There are a lot of shows. Starting with this weekend on the 11th, the boys in Mask are releasing their album. Well, it's already released digitally, but they're having a release show. They're having a release show on the 11th with Forever War, Knife Point, Bloody Death Punch, and Two Winters Only in the somewhere, I'm assuming in the parking lot of Liberty Motors, the dealership. Pretty fucking crazy, people playing in parking lots at Sonic drive-thrus and Denny's parking lots and inside the Denny's themselves. Expire playing in a fucking McDonald's, but no one's played a dealership, not to my knowing, so that's pretty cool. Anyway, that's a $5 show. Going to start at 6 p.m. And then on the 12th, I'm going to try and make it to this one. I'm really going to try Alice Cooper, Judas Priest, and Corrosion of Conformity at the USANA Amphitheater. They are anywhere between $56 to $233 according to SeatGeek. I don't know if the price has gone up since then, but I guess they are doing like a BOGO seats for if you want to get like lawn tickets, get a package of 4 for like $100, I guess. So I'm going to look into that because I would love to see Alice Cooper again. Judas Priest, I've seen him twice now, And I would love to see him again, don't get me wrong, but Alice Cooper, I can't just see Alice Cooper one time. I need to see him again. So I really want to go to this one. Yeah. But then going into the then starting next week on the 13th, End It, Click, End of Days, and No Right are going to be playing at Kilby Court. That is at 6 p.m. I don't know the price per se, but I'll get the price and you'll see it in the description of my post when I make this video. And then on the 15th, oh boy, on the 15th, Biohazard and Onyx and Bayway and Swollen Teeth were supposed to play, but they canceled that show. And apparently a lot of other shows on Biohazard's tour got canceled because of low ticket sales. I'm like, what the fuck, people? You don't care about New York hardcore anymore? Don't give a fuck about the Urban Discipline? What the fuck? I mean, Biohazard, the original lineup came back, and I guess people don't really give a shit. I'm like, fuck you guys. Fuck you. I want to see Biohazard. And even more so, I want to fucking see Onyx. These guys never tour. They never fucking tour. This would have been an awesome show. But no, apparently other people didn't think the same way. Fucking Live Nation venues. Fuck you, the Complex. Fuck you, Live Nation, and just fuck you. But on the plus side, Bayway did manage to get a show booked. They hopped on a show at One Love Coffee with Spaced, the Sissy Boys, Run It Back, Masculine Attitude, and Dull Knife. That is, on the 15th. It's $15 and will start at 6 p.m. So yeah, at least something was salvageable from that show. Meanwhile, on the 15th, over at Aces High, this is more of a metal show. In fact, it's entirely a metal show with Mammoth Grinder, Goya, in the Company of Serpents, and Triune. That's $25 if you bought it in advance. $30 if you're paying at the door. Starts at 6 p.m. And then on the 16th, we got a couple right here. First off is All Time Low, The Cab, and The Paradox playing at the Union. That is out the door, $62.40. Taxes and fees and everything. And that starts at 6 p.m. But where I will be on the 16th is at Strung Out, Agnostic Front, Murphy's Law, and The Armada. That is going to be at Metro Music Hall. The asking price, the out-the-door price is $36.56. Starts at 6 p.m. And I tell you, I'm excited as fuck to see Murphy's Law again. I've seen Strung Out a few times. I've seen Agnostic Front a bunch, but Murphy's Law I've only seen once. And Jesus Christ, they are a riot. They are such a fun band to see live. Jimmy G is just absolutely hilarious. You know, just in between sets, I want him and Vinny Stigma to get up and do like a comedy duet. Do like some Laurel and Hardy shit, you know? I would do with the allegedly funniest guys in New York hardcore. And yes, they are both very funny. I would love them to do something like Abbott and Costello's brand of comedy. Something like that. That would just be hilarious. We know Vinny loves the old-time comedians and actors and shit like that. That's his area of expertise. So why not? Why not? It'd be super hilarious. The Stigma Vinny and Jimmy comedy show. Come on, that's a good one. It'll be a great one. Hey, come on. But whatever, I'm going to be at that show. Anyway, and then on October 17th, the band called Frick is performing their album release show with Regan Ashton at the Fellowship Hall. And I assume that is the full lineup. I don't apparently have the flyer with me. Well, you'll see the flyer. You're looking at it now. But I'm going off of the information that I have written down right here. So it's probably incomplete. So don't listen to me if the information is not matching up with what you're seeing. But I do know that it is an album release show. It's at Fellowship Hall with Regan Ashton, and it's $10, and it starts at 7 p.m. But they also have another release show on the 18th up in Ogden, at the Funk and Dive Bar with Tekova and Unseen Corners. And that's going to be a hell of a show because the Funk and Dive is awesome. It is an awesome place for punk bands to play and for, I played up there numerous times. It's fun. It's super fun. They know how to party up there. What can I say? But there are other things going on the 18th. I won't be up at the Frick album release show. I'm sorry, Sid. I'm sorry, Ethan. I'm sorry. I love you guys. But there is another show that I will be at, and it's not this one that I'm about to mention. This show is The Squirms with Jay Graves and P.S. Destroy This and Molotovin. And they will be playing at the DLC and Quarters Pub and Barcade. Yeah, the Quarters Barcade downtown. That is a $10 show if you buy in advance, $12 at the door, starts at 9 p.m. Now, the show that I am going to be at with my girlfriend who bought the tickets is Gwar. Gwar, the Return of Gorgor tour. And I fucking love Gwar. I've seen him 3 times, and that's not enough. You can never see Gwar enough times. And they are now, once again, controversial. I'm like, hell yeah. Decapitate Musk. Decapitate Trump. Everyone's all pissed off about that. I'm thinking, you really have not been paying attention. They've done it before. You know that, right? They've done it before. They do it with every fucking world leader. You're now catching wind of this? These guys have been around for fucking 30 years, almost 40 years. Eat shit, you fucking megites. Fucking mega dump asses. Oh, God. But I'm excited. I'm excited to see Gwar again. Gwar is a fucking party live. That is to say the least. And I got to get my shirt restained. My Gwar shirt. Yeah, because my girlfriend accidentally washed it. I go, oh, no. That's 3 shows worth of presidential blood and alien semen. Come on! Well, now I have to get it restained. Happens. So yeah, Gwar. Also playing will be Helmet, the Dwarves, and Blood Vulture. Dwarves I've seen a bunch of times. Helmet I've never seen. Although I have heard the last time that they were here, they were pretty boring, we'll say. But oh well, that happens. It happens. But that's going to be at the fucking Complex. I know I was talking shit on them earlier, and I still will talk shit on them, but whatever. That's a $48 show right now. Maybe it's more. And it starts at 6 p.m. And then on the 19th, finally, the 19th, Murder by Death is coming back to Salt Lake on their End of the Line tour. And who they're dragging along with them? Andrew Jackson Jihad. Wow. That's some pretty fucking, those are 2 pretty iconic folk punk bands right there. So, yeah, you definitely ought to check that out. Last time Andrew Jackson Jihad came, well, one of the last times, he was playing at Kilby Court. I should have gone to that show. I really like AJJ. He's a menace. He's a menace. I'm a straight white male in America, and that's all the luck I need. Good shit. Anyway, that'll be at the Depot. $48 to enter, and it starts at 6:30 p.m. And guys, that is the extent of all shows that are going to be going on through the next week and a half. And guys, this is pretty crazy. It's a pretty crazy month. Pretty fucking loaded. There are so many shows, so many tours. I guess that a lot of bands are trying to tour before the cold winter months start settling in on the Rocky Mountain West. Meanwhile, they'll be hitting up the West Coast and the South and shit like that, so it won't be all for a loss. But it's pretty crazy times here, right before the holiday season. Everyone's touring. So yeah, make it out to as many as you can, guys, and yeah, when you make it out to the show, hopefully you have a great time. Hopefully you stay safe, and hopefully you return unscathed. And if you do return, and if you don't return unscathed, hopefully you have a cool story to go along with it. So guys, thank you for joining me this week. Once again, I'm your host, Eric the Unit Norris. Yeah, I gotta remember to say that. That's my title, The Unit. Eric the Unit Norris. from SLC Punkcast, Live and Wired, Tales from the Pit. Thank you for joining me this week. I'll leave you with Dustin. He's going to hit you with a lot of other shows that'll be coming in your neck of the woods. So yeah, I'll leave it to him. Take care, guys. Peace.
Thank you, Eric. And now we go around the world, as we do, in no particular order. I'm going to start off with this GBH Slaughterhouse, there we go, tour that includes Knuckleheads on the first half. Just started last night in Austin, Texas. Tonight, they're at Trees in Dallas. They'll be going to Phoenix, San Diego, Santa Ana. It's all on that left column. LA, Ventura, San Francisco, Portland, Seattle. They'll be here on the 23rd. And then on the 24th, it looks like Mainliners, I think, are taking over. I think that's how it's going. And then they'll do Denver, Kansas, and so forth, which we'll get into. But you can see that there, and you can also go to GBH Official UK. Then moving on to the Rocky Mountain Ripper 5. That's in Denver, October 16th and 18th. A lot of really great bands on that one. On the 16th, it's at Bar 404. 17th and 18th at HQ. It's $20 per day. Looks like they got some drink specials and such available. You got Riverboat Gamblers, The Booze, Criminal Kids, and so many other great bands. Some I don't know, actually quite a bit of these I don't know. Chromalips, Abbey Ooze, bands that I've played before there. Battle Sites, Love Bram's bands, and they are on that list. I think we played Wet Denim as well. So go check out Rocky Mountain Ripper if you're going to be in Denver. Saturday, October 11th, our pals in Italian Blood are playing with Sick Move, Wayward Brigade, and Junk Punk. That is in Darnestown? Fuck, I can't tell. What does that say? It's a matinee show. Gotta love that. It's in, what's that lettering, man? Rhode Island, maybe? I don't know. It's at the Garage. I can't be Rhode Island. It's got to be somewhere else. Maybe it's Maryland. That can't be an M. I don't know. It's at the Garage. Saturday, October 11th. Matinee show 1 to 5. Go check out our pals Italian Blood if you want to get more details. Crime Wave 66, as you can see there, if you're looking at the flyer on the right side, that's probably a recognizable bass player there, old Matt Freeman. His new band, Crime Wave 66, on the 23rd, they're playing with Class and Valley Fever. 7 p.m., 21 and older show, $15 in advance, so do yourself a favor. Save yourself the $5 or $15, $5 because the day of it's going to be 20, and it looks like that show is in Tucson, Arizona. So go check out that show. Then what are we at next? This one a little farther out, but it's October 31st. The Fox Theater in Pomona, Halloween weekend show with the Addicts. You can go see them with the Briefs and Channel 3. Spaghetti Cumbia, I think that's a band. I don't know. Anyway. The 31st in Pomona, and then in LA at Fonda Theater on the 1st. So go see the Addicts and those bands there in Southern California. Next up, the dates this weekend, Snow and Flurry. Looks like a festival, October 11th and 12th. You got Madball, Terror, Strife, Integrity, Combust, Spaced, Prevention. Doors are at 12:30. Music's at 1:30. All ages, all ages, all ages. And look at all that huge list of other great bands. Home Invasion. Love them. A lot of really great bands. I'm sure a lot I don't know, but obviously the headliners are pretty great. Go to snowandflurryfest.com. It's in Minneapolis at Underground Music Cafe, so go check that out. Hopefully they're not getting any snow just yet. It's not quite winter, hopefully. Anyway, next up, Frankenbar. And this Frankenbar is where and Abendikasse. I'm sure this is in Germany somewhere. I apologize. I don't see maybe it's on there and I just don't know it. But anyway, you get First Attack, who's awesome. Support from Arne Seis and Bais Vasco. It's Frankenbar on the 16th. I can't read the rest of that. It looks like that's in German. So looks like 7 p.m. show. Kreuzberg, maybe. Maybe it's in Kreuzberg. I don't know. But go check out First Attack Germany if they're in a German town near you. Our pals in Krang have a list of their upcoming shows, their 2025 shows, October 10th and October 11th. Looks like they've got a handful in Poland. No, that's not Poland. What did I say Poland for? That's probably Czech Republic where they're from. Opic Kladivko. Yeah, that's probably Czechia. There it is. Czechia, Poland, Germany are the shows. Poland are the in Warsaw on the 30th. I apologize for saying that, but They'll be in Germany in November, a couple other Czechia shows and German shows in November. So a bunch of great stuff coming from Krang. Next on October 24th, we've got Ska versus Punk with Spunk, Chudson, Switchblade, Stoneflower, Revancha, Leftover Ska, Tsar Bomba. There's a costume contest. 'Tis the season. Doors are at 6, music at 6:30. As it says, costumes heavily encouraged. It is $15, so make sure you get there. This is in Huntington Beach, California. Then our pals in the Raging Nathans have a tour coming up, going October 15th through the 25th. They'll be in Detroit, Michigan, Grand Rapids, Michigan, Columbus, Ohio, Cambridge, Massachusetts. What a swing in – that seems a bit far. Then they'll be going to Baltimore, and then a handful of shows in Florida, probably heading down to, Fest to wrap it up. Looks like some shows with Screeching Weasel and the Kilograms there. If you're checking out the flyer, go see the Raging Nathans if they're in your neck of the woods. Next up, October 10th, today. It's probably already happened by the time I get this out, but our pals in Direct Action had a show. À la cour de suite. I don't know if I've got that right. Cicel den Tergem. First band's at 8:30. It was a free show. Hopefully you had a chance to go check out Street Rock Rebels in Dentergem, West Vlaanderen. So nothing else. Go see our pals in Direct Action. Hopefully you had a chance to do that. On October 18th, our pals in Direct Action have another show, and that is with Rancor, Rage Feeds Death. That was a hard one to read. Static Vision, and I should know that because that's one of the guys in the band, Atlik. I don't remember. One of the guys in the band Direct Action also plays in that band, I believe. But Langlanden Fest 1, go check that one out. Mark your calendars. It's only €10 to get in, and doors are at 6 on the 18th. Crash Festival's coming up next weekend. I actually have tickets. I don't have flight or hotels or any of that sorted out, so I don't know if I will be there. But I do have my tickets. So maybe if you're going or want to go and you don't have tickets, maybe I should be giving them to you. But as you can tell, on the 17th and 18th in San Francisco at DNA Lounge, pretty great lineups. GBH, Beer Zone, Incendiary Device, Bullshit Detector, Rally Cry, Bomber, The Volcanics, Jenny Wu, Barstool Preachers, The Drowns, The Last Gang, Proletaire, Hunting Lions, Control, Noise, Ultrasec, Crown Court, Rattlescence, Aggressive Manor. A lot of really great bands. Dogface Bastards, they're on there. And I think there's one at the bottom on the left. I can't read that one. Anyway, Crash Fest is awesome. Loaded lineup. Cool venue. If you're in San Francisco, you should go to it. You definitely should. Strung Out is on their tour as of next week. They're going to be the 15th in Denver, working their way through Salt Lake on the 16th, and all the way into California, a bunch of California, Nevada, Arizona shows. All the way through November 1st, you'll see Strung Out, Agnostic Front, Murphy's Law, and La Armada. So make sure you check that out. See all of those. Go see any of the bands, including Agnostic Front NYC or Murphy's Law NYC, if you would like more details. We got a few left to go. That one's coming. We are going to do the Templars show on October 25th. Castillo playing, Fuerza Bruta, Ultrasect, Handpay, Tracks, killer lineup. That's at First Street Billiards in Los Angeles. Go to eventbrite.com to get your tickets. 7 p.m. Looks like an 18 and older show. You got to have your ID, and it is a Halloween birthday bash for Perry of Templars. So go check out all of those killer bands. On October 18th, Two-Man Advantage retirement show with special guests, no redeeming social value, Death Cycle, The Stress, and Burrito Bowel. I don't know what a Burrito Bowel is, but anyway, killer lineup at Amity Music Hall. So if that is in your neck of the woods, make sure you go check that one out. Killer lineup, and it is Two-Man Advantage retirement show. Next, October 13th, Real Hardcore returns to the Bug House. It's $10 all ages, 10 p.m. You get Thought Control from New Jersey, Totaled from Iowa, Illinois, one of the other I states, Colossal Man, X-Force, and again, it is there's address 2411 South Wayne. I don't know where Bug House is, but I have to imagine, I don't know. Oh, Fort Wayne, Indiana, probably. There you go. Fort Wayne Straight Edge is X-Force, so there you go. Go check that out. Next up, our pals Bone Crusher playing with our pals in Oil on Thursday, October 16th. Great flyer. Brigada, our pal in Brigada Vendetta, love Daryl. Proletaire is awesome. And who the fuck is that green shit? I don't know how to read that one. It's upside down. I don't know. It's $20. Brought to you by Knockout Booking. It is a pre-show on the 16th. So this is probably Northern California pre-show to Crash Fest. Yep, Killer Crash Fest pre-show. So make sure you go check that out. Bunch of awesome bands loaded on that one. Then in Salem, Oregon, just did the newest edition of Pals in the Vault over on YouTube with Petty Treason, Tony of Petty Treason. Well, Petty Treason has a show in Salem on October 31st with Dreadnoks, Vicious Cycle, Do-Webs, $21, $10, 8 p.m., and costumes, of course. They are encouraged. So go check out that show. And we're going to wrap it up with Piston Brokes next Friday, as it is, which is October 17th. You can see them for $25 and then play with Mortier from Montreal, Reckless Upstarts from Windsor, Street Code from Toronto. So go check out that great loaded lineups. Hopefully you have a chance to go see a show near you. And you enjoyed Eric's Tales from the Pit, live and wired for this one, and we'll catch you on the next one.